Hello, everyone. Thank you for pressing play. This is SpeakUponIt, a Pixages digital media production. All right. I hope you're doing well. So, with the current celebrations for the presidential election results, with the holidays around the corner and New Year's Day coming up soon, with the Black Lives Matters protests and the counter protests to the Stop the Count protests, with all of these gatherings, it's important for us to remember the current administration was incorrect in the statement that the coronavirus was going to go away once the campaigns were over. Within the last 24 hours at the time of this recording, the United States of America has had over 130,000 new coronavirus cases. Within the last 24 hours, there have been a reported 1,800 plus deaths in the United States alone. Understandably, a lot of us are tired of dealing with the measures that are needed to socially distance and ensure that we are taking care of those that we love. For a lot of us, the fact that we haven't been affected personally makes it easy to think that this is something that we can just do when we feel like it. It's important to remember that these decisions that you are making, that we are making, doesn't only affect us. It affects our elderly. It affects our children, our parents, our caregivers, the teaching staffs at the schools. It affects all of us. So please, as the holidays come around and we make our plans to be with one another and be with our family members, go to events and all of the other stuff that a normal America does, please remember to be safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. The biggest problem with this disease to me is that one person can be totally fine with it and give it to another person, and that person can be totally fine with it. But it's that third person, or maybe that fourth person, that is unable to tolerate it within their system, and they have to go to the hospital, or they have to spend the rest of their lives with a condition caused due to a complication of contracting the virus. For some of us, having to self-quarantine for 2 weeks means missing money for 2 weeks. So let's not put ourselves in those positions. This is not a time for increased congregation. This is a time for patience. This is a time for moderation and care and consideration for those that we love. Stay safe, everyone. Okay, so by now, it's pretty clear that Joe Biden has won the presidential election. So now what? Even though he lost, Donald Trump received more votes than any other candidate in American history, aside from Joe Biden, of course. That's more than Clinton. That's more than Obama. That's more than both the Bushes, all of them. In fact, the man gained support from the last voting session. So what do we do? What do we do with that? Well, I got to say, one of the things that we have learned is that the effect of large-scale voting has effective power. So, don't lose track of your voter registration card. Put it in a folder somewhere. Put it in a drawer. Make sure that you know where it is. Second, make sure that you know when the next voting session for your state is. If you are in Georgia and you are going to be participating in the runoff election, make sure that you have everything in order to get that done. If your state is up for Senate elections in 2 years, make sure that you're aware of who the candidates are. Make sure that you make a plan to vote, just like you made a plan to vote for this presidential election. If you're 17 years old now and you'll be 18 by the time your state does its Senate elections, get ready to vote. Make sure that you are registered. It is not enough to only vote every 4 years. I've seen so many conversations online and had so many myself with individuals who say they don't want to hear anything else about the election. They don't care about what the results are. But the truth is this stuff matters. And the plan is to make you clock out and only use this power that you have every 4 years for the big one. But all of the real change happens on a much smaller level, locally. So if there's a judge being elected in your area, make sure that you know what they represent. And if there's somebody opposing their efforts, vote for them if you are eligible to vote. And make sure that you are registered to vote. Make sure that you are registered to vote. We have seen that this strategy works. We have seen that if we get people out and to the polls and vote, that the results that we want are possible. We've actually seen this all through American history. In some cases, it came in the form of a march. In other cases, it came in actual legislation. But change always is represented by the turnout of the people. Therefore, just like the people in Georgia, just like the people in Arizona of all places, make sure that you are registered and prepared to make change in the area that you live in. These small changes on a local level is what will change the image of the entire country. We're only ever going to get away from the whole red state, blue state thing if the will of the people is measured by the actual count of the vote of the people. The only way to get that, though, is if the people participate. So make sure that you're able to. Make sure that you're willing to. Make a plan. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video. Please share it with a friend. I look forward to seeing you in the comments below. Make sure that you are subscribed and click the bell notification to receive updates when new content is made available.